Daniels, aka the Culture Referee, and this is the
God Show. Woo-hoo.
And we have a very, 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 very special guest.
You got to add a few more berries.
I was to say, I don't really talk about what I do on this show, but I guess y'all gonna find out now because this guy who's on here he's my best friend. He's my client. He's my brother. He's everything, nigga. He is everything in my life. And when I first came up with this show, I swear to God, what we about to shoot, Tamara, this is the one, I was like, this is the one show I wanted to film. Because this show is kind of just built on arguing about who's dope and who's not seen, right? So I don't have the arguments, I have the most arguments with Theron Thomas, a.k.a. Theron. A.k.a. one of the best songwriters in the world, biggest songwriters in the world, have hit after hit after hit, and those will pour out. And based on this show, we're not gonna count him in the conversation. That's the rule to the show. Yes. So when y'all see me naming my things, just know that Theron couldn't be named. Okay. Because I'm arguing with him. Let's get it.
Welcome, Theron, to the show.
Yo, thanks for having me. I love it.
So
by the way, he can talk without an accent. Amir, should he use an accent or should he talk regular?
He's representing.
Accent or no accent, Sumo man?
I say no accent. I want people to hear you.
Okay, I want people to, okay, cool.
I want people, the Virgin Island people already know.
Okay,
I want people
but just in case I don't know, this is how I really talk, and I really from Virgin Islands. I from rock. Just make sure I know. But
shout out to VR.
For context, let's make sure it's super clear. We don't want nothing misconstrued today.
All right, so we're gonna start with trending topics, and then we're gonna go into our top five Thursday, because today is Thursday. So just to start with trending topics, Diddy did a really good interview recently, but one of the main things that came out was his issue with New York. So his issue with New York right now, Diddy says that rappers are in last place, New York rappers. We aren't supposed to be following trends, we're supposed to set them, and that ends today. Do you think that New York rappers, or both of you guys, have kind of lost that identity as far as leading and setting trends?
I want to comment. I want to say something. I'm going to ask you a question because you're a New Yorker. Okay, so top rappers from Atlanta, top executives from Atlanta, when they make it, they stay in Atlanta. Give me the top guys from New York.
Yeah, they all got out of there.
They all live in L.A. now.
Yeah.
Puff, Hove, the whole rock, everybody live in L.A. Like, everybody
New York's kind of expensive to live in, too.
L.A. is expensive, too, but I'm saying, like, you can't get mad at the people for not following in the footsteps when they didn't have no footprints to follow, because as soon as y'all got filthy rich, y'all went to the West Coast where the nice weather is.
That's one way of looking at it. But I do think that New York rappers, like, we started saying no cap. We started, like, wearing dreads. We definitely started, like, being influenced way more by the.
So let me okay, so this is why I say what I say. No cap became big, but rappers heard it first, though. Mm-hmm. Like, we heard it first from rappers' mouths. So the first person I ever heard use no cap was 2 Chainz, right? And I'm pretty sure 2 Chainz probably heard that because he was in the hood in Atlanta. Mm-hmm. That's why our lingo works. Somebody has to take the lingo and take it further and do everything they got to do. Somebody has to. So I still think that the problem is that New York don't have nobody with a big enough voice. Cardi B, Nicki Minaj, where do they all live?
Cardi was in the Bronx this weekend.
Where do they live?
She has a house in Jersey.
Where do they live?
Not in New York City.
They live in L.A. Everybody gets money and move to L.A. That's why Atlanta has such a great lineage, because we take it personal if you move out of Atlanta.
Facts.
If you make it from here, you move to L.A., you better have a house here. You see an Atlanta nigga across in L.A., you be like, you live in L.A.? Oh, yeah, I live in L.A., but I still got my house in Atlanta. He ain't gonna just be like, hell yeah, I left Atlanta. Mm-hmm. New Yorkers, they just leave.
What about you, Theron? Do you think that New York has kind of lost its identity in the music industry?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I came to Atlanta, in 2001. I watched Atlanta hip-hop grow to become the biggest version of hip-hop now. So I saw everybody kind of turn into Atlanta. Yeah. I saw everybody started using the slang, you know, manipulating the 808s like Timberland and Polo used to do, and my man that live in Miami now, Danger Hands. You know, I watch everybody start manipulating the 808s and doing stuff like that, and then trap music coming in, and then everybody, you know, to me personally, me as a person from St. Thomas, Virgin Islands, like looking at hip hop, more so than ever, I can't tell who's not from the South now.
Good. That's a good way to look at it.
As an outsider looking in.
Kind of building off of that conversation, Ice Cube said that he tried to shop Friday to Warner Brothers a few times and he got denied. And he said the issue is that they don't respect or understand our culture. How can we kind of get around those type of obstacles that put in front of us?
This is how we get around it. If you are a creative, whether you're a writer, producer, artist, filmmaker, anything, if you are creative and you are black and you are from the culture, don't do business with anyone if they don't have people from your culture in that room. Because if you, like how everybody heard a famous story about how when Beyonce stepped into Adidas, she was like, where the people that look like me at? Or she stepped into, she went to one company and she didn't see people that look like her, she wanted to do business. So for me, the only way we're going to get our power is for them to know that they need us in the room. If a young black rapper from Atlanta gets popping and he can go in a room full of 10 people and none of them look like him and he's still willing to sign, he's fucking up for everybody. You got to have people that look like you in the room. That's how we keep ourselves relevant.
Good answer. Tory Lanez project is expected to be one of the top hip-hop performers this week on the billboards, despite him being independent and kind of being blackballed. What do you think Tory Lanez is doing properly right now?
Tory Lanez is just talent. You can never count talent out. Talent and talent that's bold. Because I know a lot of people are talented, like they talented as fuck, but they just won't get off the porch and just go embarrass themselves or go look crazy or go look stupid. To me, Tory Lanez is unafraid. He doesn't care what y'all think about him. He don't care what y'all feel about him. He doesn't care. He's going to show up and do his thing. That's why I love Tory.
But if we compare somebody like the Baby to Tory Lanez, they kind of have this weird history and in this weird space right now. But Tory Lanez is managing to crawl out of that. So, like, what do you think he's doing differently?
He's talented as fuck.
Okay, so the talent
is talented and he's bold. I'm trying to tell you, I know, like, I use Theron for example. Theron, I manage Theron. Theron is not like, his journey is not like all the other songwriters in the world. Jonte Austin, for example, wrote his first hit when he was 16. Theron, we didn't catch his first hit till he was like 23, 24. Why? Because that wasn't his journey. He didn't know he can be a songwriter. That wasn't something he went after. But what made Theron catch everybody was he was unafraid. This nigga will write 15 songs, and if you said all 15 was whack, he still didn't care. I'm dead serious. He came back and he kept fighting. So it's not about being talented. It's about being bold and talented. It's about being unafraid and talented.
Okay, speaking of songs, we spoke about this, but the BET Awards happened, just aired, and one of the big things was the Song of the Year. So Kodak Black is very upset.
Can I just tell you, I think Kodak Black is one of my favorite rappers in the world.
Wait, I want to read you the quote because he's a little mad.
I love Kodak.
So when we spoke about the predictions, we thought Super Gremlin would be one of the big.
we thought no, he was going hard because I thought FNF was going to win.
Yeah, well, we know you.
And he went hard because he said he thought FNF should have won too.
So he goes, the woman empowerment shit is cool. Don't take nothing from nobody, but you still got to work for it. Don't just simply give it to somebody because they a woman. If that's the case, y'all could have gave the song to Glorilla, not hating ass mulatto.
Well, here's the funny part about that whole thing. The man sitting over here wrote the record Big Energy.
Yeah, I mean.
So it's like, and I still picked FNF. So I understand where Kodak is coming from, but it's not about your intent. It's about how you go about it. Because somebody can mean well, somebody can want to get your attention, but if they grab you too goddamn hard, it might be fighting words.
What's the song? The Future song with Tim.
That's what I thought was going to win.
That's what I thought was going to win.
Too.
You know? And by the way, I mean, Big Energy winning, hey,
So
I'm not gonna fight myself. Motherfucker, I won. I'm happy I won. But my vote was on Wait for You.
Yeah,
yeah, that's what I was like, man, I know that's gonna win. That's a song. What a great song.
But that goes right into my question. So you did write Big Energy. What is your process when you're writing for an artist? Like, do you have the artist in mind already and then you write a song specifically for them, or do you write a song and then shop it to an artist?
Oh, man, it depends. I've done it a bunch of ways. I mean, for Big Energy, the original idea was made for Cardi B. And
right?
Yeah, so the original idea for Big Energy was made for Cardi B. Went to Hawaii with my friend, and we made some music and send it to the the head of Atlantic, and emailed it out to Cardi, and nobody got back to us. So, you know, at that point in time, Lotto was working on her thing, and we sent it to Lotto, and she liked it, and the rest is history.
All right. Now, when is it appropriate for artists to use songwriters? And this could go for both of you guys.
When is it appropriate?
Yeah.
From the beginning of fucking time.
From the beginning of time. You know, I always say, yo, songwriters artists got this thing that they think people are showing up to see them. Mm-hmm. Every artist believes, like, they love me. No, nigga, you have hit records. People show up to sing along to songs that they know. Nobody's ever spent $100, $200 to come to a fucking concert to watch a nigga to sing songs they never heard in their life. Who does that?
One person.
Nobody.
No.
Yeezy did that to us.
Oh, Kanye did it. But no,
you knew Kanye.
But you didn't know what he was going to do. That was
you didn't know what he was doing.
That was a spectacle.
Oh, you didn't even know it was going to be music.
No, you didn't know what you were showing up for.
Everybody showed up to a listening party. You don't know if he's going to be performing. You don't know if he's going to drop stronger in the middle of a new song.
You don't know what he was doing.
He just did it his way.
He was one of the biggest people in the world. And he did it like 2 or 3 times. It wasn't a Donda play random new song people never heard tour. Nah, people show up to hear hit records. So I feel like anybody, rappers, everybody, from the jump, have a songwriter in the room. Have somebody that has done it before that can help, that understands the science behind the hit making.
And even if you don't even if you use them for the first day or two. I mean, I know of a specific artist that we're working with that for the first couple of days, you know, we had songwriters in the room, and once she saw the process, she was like, I got it from here. Yep. That's how will.i.am became great. He learned from Ron Fair how to produce and make hits. And then Ron Fair tells the story how will.i.am was like, I got it from here. And shit, look at will.i.am.
So you mentioned the process is kind of shopping songs around to artists. So how do 2 artists kind of end up with the same song, and what would you do in a situation like this? So you said that you sent it over to Cardi, you sent it over to Lotto, right? Mm-hmm. So how long do you wait for Cardi? How long do you wait for Cardi's team to respond before you be like, all right, then we're going with Lotto? Like, what does that look like?
You want me to do it, Theron? Or you got it?
I mean, for me, I really don't. It's not really a timetable. It just depends. Okay, let me tell you how it works. If you email somebody something, when in the music business, I think there's a 7-day grace period. Hear me out. Yo, you're Cardi B. You're one of the biggest, busiest people on earth. Send it to anybody. Or Rihanna, Beyonce. Respect. They might not get to their email immediately, but I figure like after 7 days, if they see an email. I'm not gonna lie. I'm like, if you see an email from a big songwriter, if you see an email from me or somebody that's making hits, bro, then you know who they are. Bro, you should check that email immediately. Mm-hmm. And if you don't like it, cool. But if you like it, you be like, oh shit, I got an email from this person. I know what they do. You know, so I think 7-day grace period, and after that, it's like, what you want me to do, brother? I got kids too.
Okay.
I would say it depends on who paid for the session.
Okay.
And
so tell me about that.
Like, for example, when the Big Energy sessions, Atlantic paid for those sessions. Mm-hmm. So you got to give it to Atlantic, and they have to pass respectfully.
Yes.
Like, if I paid for the studio, at least give me a right to say yes or no. So you send the record to them, I would say 30 days, you know, take time, because sometimes they got to send it to an artist. Sometimes the head of the company might love it and the artist hate it. You know what I'm saying? So it's just it got to go through like so many different filters to finally get cut where someone sings it. So it's like sometimes you got to give them the process. But my thing is that if I do a song and you pay for the session and I send you the song and you don't respond, I might hit you like, you know, once or twice, like, yo, how you feeling? And if you like doubting, then you got to remember you're dealing with people who everybody else is trying to work with too. And then another person from another company walk in the room and say, hey, can I hear that? Let me hear what you got. And here's the crazy thing. I hate A&Rs do this, but this A&Rs will walk in the room and be like, play me your best Usher record that you want Usher to cut. Like if you got a young R&B singer, you're like, give me your Usher record.
Oh, I see.
Or the famous line is, give me something for Rihanna. Give me your Rihanna shit. Give me, you know, that's what everybody does. So it really just is kind of like about maintaining a relationship, and it's a proper way to dance. We've had a few instances where the same artist was chasing after songs, and you know, we kind of just made a decision based on, you know, what we thought was best for us, or you know, what we thought was best for our future. Like it's been times when we give records to artists that we was like, we don't want them to have it, but we fuck with the guy that they're signed to, so let's let them have it, and it works out that way. It's all about relationships, though.
Yeah, and just so you know, my 7-day grace period is me talking from an artist a talent to talent stand basis. So if I'm dealing with the label, I understand what Ray's saying. I agree. But if
but they got different rules. That's why I said he want me to answer because I'm gonna hit them like even when Big Energy came out, I talked to some people from Atlanta that was like, yeah, that was a Cardi record, but we felt like that didn't fit where she was going. So good luck to y'all, and we hope that the record does well for Lotto, and it did. Period.
So we spoke about what role labels have, what role songwriters have, but what roles do producers play in the songwriting process?
Producers? I mean, a true producer is supposed to finish the record.
A true producer.
A true producer. Now these days we got a lot of niggas sending people beat packs and
saying they produced it.
And then they like, oh man, I produced the record. But this is why people like Puff and Khaled, who everybody goes around yelling, but they didn't make the beat. Well, the person that made the beat wasn't the producer. Quincy Jones wasn't making beats for Michael Jackson.
He was organizing.
He was organizing the record.
The musicians.
He
was bringing in the right horn players.
Yeah.
To say, I want you to play this right here. Bum, 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 bum. Like, that's what he was doing.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Mike, I'm going to talk about somebody current. Like, Mike Will is a producer because Mike Will is in the studio with the artist and is going to say, yo, you should re-rap it like this. You should re-sing it like this. Yo, we need to add this. Now that I have your vocals, let's take the 808 out there. And that's what a producer does. A producer doesn't make beats. A beat maker makes beats. A producer takes your song from the beginning to the end.
Oh, I like that. So how has songwriting changed over the past couple of years? Do you think it's become more vocal? Have people become more sensitive? What are your thoughts on the change or how it's gone over the past couple of years?
What do you explain what you mean? Has it become more vocal?
So do you think that you can express yourself more in songwriters, especially like as a male? Do you think that people are able to be more emotional and vulnerable as male writers? Or do you think that people nowadays are more sensitive and you kind of got to watch what you say in songs?
Oh man. I mean, I can only speak for myself, and I purposefully try to write things to piss people off. No. I literally try to be like, okay, if this song comes on, are people going to be like, are you gonna be like, damn, I can't play the song around my kids? So then I'm like, okay, I should definitely say that.
Right.
That's you know what I mean. So for me, as far as more sensitive, I write songs for more women than I do men. Not because I don't want to write for men, but because women are more open to songwriters than men. Women are more open to taking an idea and a melody, a chorus, a lyric, a diss, and they're like, yo, we want the hit. Whereas for men, they're like, nah, you can't. Nah, I'm going to do it myself.
Okay, I want both of you guys to finish the sentence for me.
Theron going first.
Okay. A quality that all songwriters should have is?
A quality that all songwriters should have. Not being open to criticism. Being able to hear no and your shit is whack with no ego. I think songwriters with no ego last longer than the ones with egos.
Good answer.
I would say a songwriter has to have passion for the art of it, because it's not as much money as being a songwriter as it is being a producer, unless you got like a manager like myself, because the first song I ever sold on Theron's behalf in 2006, we got paid for. I was at the table like, you gonna pay us, period.
Man, shout out to that first check, boy. Shout out.
Yes.
All right, so now that we got that out the way, let's talk about songwriters. So just to be clear, we're going to have a debate. We're going to go for the top 5 songwriters of the past 20 years.
Starting in 2000. So we're going in order from 5 to 1 being the best. Okay, guys? And we wrote our list.
Should we flip it? No, okay. So at first, you guys are going to tell all 5 of them, and then we're going to go back and break it down, okay?
Okay, so who's going to go first? Because I feel like
Theron's a guest, so let him pick.
So he should go first.
No, he has to pick.
Oh, he
He's
can pick.
a guest,
Okay,
so
Theron,
he gets
you
to pick.
decide.
No, I'm gonna go first.
Okay,
Yeah,
go ahead.
I'm gonna go
I
first.
know you want to go first. I know you go first.
You're doing
listen,
5
I'm not
to
going to
1.
change my list, by the way. My list is written in stone.
Wait, we're not explaining yet, right?
No,
So
we're not
5
explaining.
to 1.
Give me your 5.
Listen, top 5 songwriters from the year 2000 to 2022.
And we can't include Theron.
And I cannot
Excluding.
include
So
myself.
I won't add him and he won't
Yes,
add. Because if I had to include Theron, he'd be number 1 on my fucking list.
Yeah, I would be number 1
This
to
man is the reason
myself.
why my kids can buy whatever they want is because of this man. He's number 1 over everybody. Fuck that.
But starting number 5,
Give me your top 5 songwriters.
James Fauntleroy.
Okay.
Number 5. Number 4, Esther Dean. Number 3, The Dream. Number 2, Sean Garrett. Number 1, Jermaine Dupree.
Got it. Your turn, Ray.
Hold on.
No.
Okay.
Go to your corner.
Okay, I'm in my corner. Hold on. I'm gonna give you my top 5 songwriters from 2000 on in order. Number 5, Neo.
Okay.
Number 4, Pooh Bear. Got his ass. I knew he was gonna miss that one. Hold on. Let me get
on my list.
Okay, hold on. Let me get my list. Let me get my list. I got you. Hold on. Okay, so my top 5 songwriters from 5 to 1 is number 5 is Neo. Number 4 is Pooh Bear. Number 3 is James Fauntleroy. Number 2 is Jermaine Dupree. And number 1 is The Motherfucking Dream.
Hello. Okay. Now, I see y'all got subcategories going on over here. So before we break down our top 5, can I see these subcategories you got going on?
No. Yo, I want to hear him explain.
Okay.
Explain to us your top 5 and why.
All right.
My top 5.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna start with James Fauntleroy, one of my favorite songwriters, just an incredible human being. You know what I'm saying? And I love the way that he moved. James Fauntleroy did every song on the Bruno Mars album, 24 Karat Magic. Well, he didn't write 24 Karat Magic. He was a part of every other song on that album, every song on Justin Timberlake 2020 Experience. And me as a songwriter, I had never seen, for me in my generation, I had never seen somebody who just did a whole entire album. Like every song this man penned something, was creatively involved. And I just thought he was incredible and an inspiration for me. Okay?
Now, go for
Esther D. They gonna stop playing on this black girl's top. Like, listen to me. Listen to me. Almost all the Esther Dean records, her vocals are still in the background because she has such an incredible voice. I feel like some of Esther Dean records that weren't cut weren't cut because these girls can't sing better than her.
Give us some examples of some of her work.
Some of her work. Esther Dean did
Super Bass for Nicki Minaj.
Super Bass for Nicki Minaj. Fireworks for Katy Perry. Oh, nah, what's my name? Rihanna
SNS.
Yep. Rude Boy.
Nigga.
That's just to name a few.
And Esther was like, it was between her and Neo, but I said Neo, but Esther also did. Bitch, think I love her.
Nigga, you don't love me.
Nigga, what? That's Esther, nigga. Esther is the shit, bro.
And you want to know what's so funny? I feel like Esther Dean introduced ratchetry to pop music in a sense, like as a black girl, like those lyrics, chains and whips, sticks and stones might break my bones, but chains and whips excite. She was the most clever. She did it in the most clever way. She introduced female positive sexuality to me in music in a positive way and in a clever way. So that's my number 4. The Dream.
Yes. Yeah. He's number 1 on my list.
Oh, no. I love The Dream. You know what I'm saying? The Dream. Listen, the Dream is one of the best, you know what I mean? And it was between, no, hear me out. The Dream, it was between him and Sean Garrett for number 2, and I'm going to explain why Sean Garrett got number 2 and not The Dream. But The Dream is just like, he's written songs that I didn't know. So he's one of my favorites because most of the time when I hear artists, I might be like, yeah.
I know who did
that. I know who did that one. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Neo did that one.
Yeah.
You can just hear somebody's work. The Dream, to me, just reinvents itself with every song, and I'm usually like, wait, The Dream wrote that? Exactly. Oh, he's fire. Yeah. And he made one of the best R&B albums ever to me.
For him. For
his own album. So I give him credit for that. That's my number 3. Sean Garrett. 18 number 1s in a year. You know what I'm saying? And Sean Garrett to me introduced famous songwriting.
He made songwriting. Sean Garrett made songwriting.
Songwriters are celebrities today
because of Sean Garrett.
Songwriters are people like me is like, oh nigga, you gonna pay us. Ray is like, because of Sean Garrett.
Yeah, Sean Garrett set the tone for how writers are seen in the urban space. Writers are seen first. He's definitely hands down that, for sure.
Jermaine Dupree has a lot of reasons why he's number 1. But let me just tell you, I started music because of Jermaine Dupree. Jermaine Dupree wrote Jump. When I saw Criss Cross Jump, I said, that's what I want to do when I grow up. And I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Confessions is the best R&B album ever made. Ever made. There's no R&B album ever made better than that album.
Period.
And that's Jermaine Dupree.
Period.
And guess what? And we're talking. And what I will say, going back to the Dream and Jermaine Dupree, it is special when you make straight up black music. Like, it's no pop influence or nothing.
Yeah.
And it crosses to pop.
Jermaine does that.
Yeah, Jermaine, and to me, Jermaine Dupree and the Dream, I think they do that better than anybody. They ain't gonna sprinkle no pop. They
Nothing.
gonna make ghetto
You gonna hear
black
this nigga.
records, and that shit gonna be.
You gonna hear that nigga. You gonna hear the nigga.
Yeah. So that's why my top 5 is my top
Okay, so
5.
I'm gonna give you mine. First of all, 3 of the dudes on my list are from the south side of Atlanta. I just gotta put that out there because I'm from the south side.
Okay.
Nigga, the Dream, JD, and Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear actually went to middle school with me.
I didn't know the Dream was even.
Yeah, the Dream from Atlanta, Southwest, but South Side still, nonetheless. So here's why I want my list. So I ain't gonna lie to you. I was like, I was fighting this one because I know all of the writers and I know who's good or not. So like, I was like Rico Love. Sean Garrett was on the list, and it was like my number 5 was between Sean, Neo, and Esther. And honestly, all I could do in my head was sing. I was inviting her into my. I couldn't get that melody out of my head. I swear to God, that's what made my decision. Because it was like, bro, this dude Neo is the coldest at simplicity. Man. Like he is the master of simplicity. Because it wasn't like he was saying things that were like super clever. He just said it in a simple way
and
like,
extremely melodic.
Yeah, very melodic, but that's what made him dope. But he, like if you think about You Must Not Know About Me, like Mario, fucking You Should Let Me Love You, like he was very like
unfaithful.
Yeah, unfaithful. When You're Mad,
when you're mad
because of you, bruh. But
okay.
I was running.
He's one of my favorites. He didn't get picked
because he's an artist.
He's a big.
I know.
That's the only reason.
But Neo considers himself a songwriter.
I know, but I was trying my best to just pick people who are just they're more in the studio than on stage. But Neo,
I'm just saying, Sean,
don't play no
Esther, because Esther to me is one of my favorite writers of all time. But I couldn't get past that fucking melody, "Go On Girl," and I'm like, dog, the song is saying "Go On Girl," and I'm still singing it. And I would never say that to a girl. I would never say "Go On Girl," but I sing it because of him. That's how dope Neo was.
Yeah.
4 is Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear, literally, let's be clear. Pooh Bear contributed some motherfucking classics to Confessions.
Yes, he did.
Pooh Bear wrote "Superstar."
My favorite Usher song ever.
He wrote the whole Justin Bieber album. What Do You Mean? All the Justin Bieber shit. He did Despacito. He did that. This dude is,
and he keeps reinventing himself.
And I think he did. I think he wrote for 112. I think he did Peaches and Cream.
Yes, he did.
He did Peaches and Cream for 112. This nigga's from the south side of Atlanta, and this nigga is cold as fuck. Like cold. Like dog, he wrote "Superstar." That's my favorite Usher song of all time.
Yes,
that's why. So I was like, and I always like writers. So the writers that I put at the top of the list were writers that I feel like you can give them an entire album.
Yes.
It's hard for you to hear an entire album of one writer's songs. That's fucking hard to do. So James Fauntleroy, entire albums. Bruno Mars, first hit was "No Air" by Chris Brown and Jordan Sparks. He did the whole Justin Timberlake album, and he's really good at being clever and different. He knows how to bring uniqueness to a record. So I was like, bruh, you can't not acknowledge this dude. And he cool as a motherfucker. And he different as fuck. But James Fauntleroy. Number 2 is Jermaine Dupree. It's 7 o'clock on the dot. I'm in my nigga. Come on, nigga.
These are my confessions.
Come on,
just
dog. And I ain't gonna lie. I was going back and forth with Jermaine because I really wanted to put Jermaine and Jonte together because Jonte was also like floating. Like, man, Jonte is fucking incredible. But JD he knew how to sauce shit up, man. He just knew how to sauce shit up. Like, I came to have a party. Like, this nigga just knew how to, like, drop that simple sauce and shit. So I would say JD. And it's for the same reason Theron said. I love writers that don't chase. JD is like, you going to get what I'm going to do, and y'all going to say it's pop or y'all not. But I'm not going to try to come over there to the pop charts. That's why a lot of writers, I was like, he kind of was chasing. JD didn't chase. And The Dream is, first of all, I'm cooler with Jermaine. I don't know The Dream like that. I don't know him like that. But this nigga is the most versatile songwriter in the world to me.
Yeah,
This nigga is versatile. It's like he literally, it's nothing he can't do, but you always feel the nigga in there somewhere. So from him having writing Beyonce's Break My Soul record to when he wrote Rihanna, Ella, and then he also broke Jay Holiday with Bed. Like and that's another thing I had to consider. Because a lot of songwriters are only big because they work with big artists.
Man, that's
a lot of songwriters are big because they work with big artists. So
you're not really the shit until you break nobody never heard of them or they cusp artists.
Yes.
A cusp artist where it's like they got a record but they ain't that big and you gave them the one that crossed them over.
Exactly.
Now that's when you can say somebody's really, really fire.
Exactly. So for me, I just felt like The Dream was like my favorite. Like he wrote 1+1. This motherfucker is, I mean, he could get in depth with records. He can give you fluff. He wrote Baby for Justin Bieber. Like he can give you fluff too. He can give you the kitty shit. He can give you the deep shit. He can give you the party shit. Like The Dream is the most versatile to me and best writer in the world outside of Theron that I would say I just don't think nobody's better than him. And by the way, this is my top favorite. Let's be clear. This is not based on numbers. This is just if I was an A&R, if I had an artist, who would I want to partner with to do an entire project? The Dream is number 1. JD is number 2. Fauntleroy number 3. Pooh Bear, and then Neo.
All right, so we talked about the GOATs in this industry, right? So who are our underdogs? Who do we think are on the way up? Who do we think are overlooked? Like, what do we think about the underdogs in the music industry?
Okay, me talking about my underdogs, I want to say something. I had Pooh Bear. Pooh Bear was my fight between James Fauntleroy and Pooh Bear, and I didn't know of Pooh Bear doing any whole albums, so I was like,
he did Justin Bieber whole album.
Oh, I didn't see.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying?
He did Justin Bieber whole album.
And then it's 3 people that I didn't pick because they're also producers and they're also artists. But let me just
we're gonna get to that list though.
Let me just mention them. Will.i.am
for sure.
Pharrell and Neo. Those were the 3 people that I was like, they some of the best, but they were artists, and I was like, this is just people behind the scenes that you don't really get to see, even though Jermaine Dupree did do it all. But, Jermaine Dupree that's
right. He wrote at 7 o'clock in the dot
on a drop top, man. Come on. Okay, now, underdogs, the upcoming writers.
Or writers who are hitting their moment.
Okay, Victoria Monet.
Yeah, she did
the Ariana Grande stuff. Her album is incredible. Stara. We're not going to play on that girl top.
Incredible.
Okay. Nisha.
Yes.
We're not going to play on her top. Coffee. All the Dua Lipa. Come on, bro. We're not going to play with that dude. Derek Milano. He's the last person on my list.
Okay, so
what's your rebuttal to that?
My top 5.
I just did my top 5 from number 1 to 5.
Oh, okay.
So go from 5 to 1. Give me your top 5 underdogs.
Top 5 underdogs, 5 to 1.
Yes.
Number 5, Derek Milano.
Okay.
Number 4, Coffee.
Yep.
Number 3, Nisha. Number 2, Stara. Number 1, Victoria Monet.
What? That's a great fucking list. All right. My top 5 underdogs, people that y'all need to know, the industry know, but y'all need to know is number 5 was Derek Milano for me.
Yep.
Number 3 was
number
Inc.
4. You didn't do
number 4 was Inc.
Good.
Inc. is
fire.
Atlanta, Inc. Shout out to Inc. So my top 5 list is Derek Milano, number 5, Inc. number 4. Number 3 was Victoria Monet, because I love Victoria, but she's also an artist now, but I love Victoria. Number 2 was, hold on, I'm looking at my list,
I think he started cheating and moving some things.
No. I have it all written down. No, I have it written down because he write about that. Because I also have an honorable mention list. But I'm gonna say it anyway. I'm gonna say number 2 is Priscilla Renee, aka Money Fucking Long.
Oh my God. Yo,
that girl is a fucking incredible writer. So for the sake of what we do, number 5.
You want to know, man? I feel so bad. I didn't mention her because I just see her as an artist now. Like
that's why I said Priscilla Renee, not Money Long. 5 is Derek Milano. Number 4 is Inc. Number 3 is Victoria Monet.
2 Money Long.
And then number 1, she's my GOAT. I don't care what y'all say, is motherfucking Jazzy.
Oh, come on, man. I
love that bitch. Jazzy is so fucking cold. She signed to Love Records right now. She's always with Puff. Jazzy is my number one underdog in the entire business.
Yeah.
Love
Jazzy is
Jazzy.
fire.
And she's the most lovable human being on earth. So, but then I got my honorable mentions. You got Rico
How many
Love,
people you got in
Verse
your
Simmons.
honorable mentions?
No, about 4. Rico,
Okay.
because there's people who I feel like I gotta mention because of what I do. Sean Garrett, Verse Simmons, Eric Bellinger, Rico Love, and Stara. I gotta mess with them. So that's just my list.
Okay, who you got on your honorable mentions?
I already said it. It was
Here
Pooh
is-
Bear, Will I Am, Pharrell, and Neo.
Now I have a list that I put together that Theron doesn't know. I'm gonna give y'all. He doesn't know.
No, please.
It's
tell
about
me.
him. It's fine. I'm gonna give y'all my 5 favorite songs in order from last to first that Theron has written.
Ooh, I
Okay.
like that.
Please
Okay,
tell
these are
me.
my first one. So I'm gonna say number 5 is Usher, No Limit.
Okay.
Number 4, Kelly Rowland, Kisses Down Low.
That's a good one.
Number 3, Sierra, Level Up.
Okay, good one.
Number 2, Doja Cat, Like That.
That's my that's my way.
What? That shit is incredible.
I like that
And
song.
number 1, Mario Music for Fucking Love. Mario Music for Love is my number 1 song Theron has ever written because I remember the day he wrote it. I remember we was broke. I remember what he had on. I remember him being hungry. And I remember him just he was locking himself in the studio. He was broke. And I was busting his ass every time he write a song. I'm like, that shit's whack. That shit's sappy. That shit ain't cool. That shit is this. And he called me in the room and he was so nervous to play it for me because I was getting on his ass. And then he plays, girl, turn me up
And let me come through your speakers, blow the sound out of your tweeters.
And he was like, it's the music for love. And I was like, hold on, this shit kind of hard. Hold on, this shit kind of hard. And I was like, I think that might be one. So I just wanted to do that because he here. Because don't get me wrong, it was my honorable mention was Future, Kanye. I just want to take you out and show you all. I was like, I wanted to do that.
I won you a trophy.
Yeah. I was thinking about that, but
Sick.
those is mine. And Pour It Up for Rihanna was like another one I was gonna sing, but I was like, nah. I want to give y'all my personal like records that I play, and I'm like, I don't give a fuck how far these shits charted. I'm proud of this shit.
Yeah.
When I hear Doja Cat like that, I'm like, nigga, that shit isn't. That would have been number 1. But Mario Music for Love is never gonna be replaced to me because that is that's fucking baby
that opened the door.
That's still feeding the babies in the room. Like, that opened the door.
Yeah,
So,
that opened the door.
How do you feel about that list?
I think that's a good list. I've never made a list for myself.
can you give us the top 5 list you've ever done?
For me, top
Your
5?
personal, not hits, but your personal.
Yeah, that you
Top
like
5. Okay.
Fucking, I want to add Juice for Lizzo. Fuck.
Okay. I'm gonna say I don't have it in order. Top 5 songs.
That Theron Thomas has ever written.
Juice.
Number 1.
Yeah.
I'm gonna say Juice by Lizzo, man. I'm not gonna lie to you.
That's a masterpiece.
That's
If you
a
listen to it
masterpiece.
if you ever want to learn how to write a song, listen to Lizzo's Juice. It was written perfectly.
It's so incredible. And you know, I'm not gonna lie to you. I called Ricky Reed. I said, Ricky Reed, if you play me a hit beat today, I'm gonna guarantee that I'm gonna write a hit song today. He was like, I got a hit beat, and he played that beat, and we did that song. So shout out to Ricky Reed and Lizzo. Like that's one of them ones. Music for Love, for sure. Like just what I went through to write that song, where I was at working at Party City. You know,
You can hear the starvation in his voice if you hear the demo.
And I just wanted to take care of my daughter. Child support was $179. I couldn't afford it, and I was like, I need to do something so I could take care of this little girl. So Music for Love, right? We Can't Stop. Miley Cyrus, bro. Yo, bro, I wrote that song at the 12 studio in the room. I remember listen, while he's here, I remember writing that song, and my brother and Ray, and I'm like, I just wrote the greatest song ever made. And both of them look at me like, it's cool. You've done better songs.
Can I tell y'all why?
Wait.
I gotta say why.
You've done better songs than that.
I gotta
And
say
I'm
why.
like,
I gotta say why.
What?
When I say why, if this don't make, I'll let you be the judge. If my why don't make sense, because it was written for Rihanna. That's why he says, we run things don't run we.
Yes.
And I'm like, nigga, we just did Pour It Up, and we just did Man Down.
we didn't do Pour It Up yet. We did
Pour It
Man
Up was
Down.
done, though.
No, Pour It Up came after, remember, because we flew to LA and did
Pour
Pour
It Up came out after, but it was done before because we did Pour It Up in LA.
Yeah, we did Man Down, but we
Man
did
Down
We
did
Can't
before that.
Stop. We did We Can't Stop, and it got us to LA because we sent it to Karen Kwok. And remember, Def Jam brought us to LA to do that last camp.
I still think that We Can't Stop is an okay record on Rihanna. and it's a hit on Miley Cyrus.
No, I'm not mad at
sometimes, because sometimes people don't factor in. You didn't ask me. I could break down what songwriters do for artists.
No, you're right.
The songwriter gives you the gas. Some people get gas that takes them 450 miles. Some people get them a gas that take them 200 miles.
So
we can't stop on Rihanna. We would have been like, we can't stop on Miley Cyrus. It's like, what? This white girl talk about popping Molly and shit.
Wait.
Go ahead.
So number 5, Juice. Number 4 was
I think Mario Music for Love.
Music for Love. Number 3, We
Can't Stop. Give me the last two.
Number 2, Pour It Up. Like, come on, bro. Pour it up, bro. Come on, bro. And I mean, guess what? And by the way, you know the Pour It Up story.
Yes,
the night before we went to the ASCAP Awards, Quincy Jones walks up to me. Quincy Jones says, I never met Quincy Jones in my life. I got my cell phone. Quincy Jones walk up to me. He says, hey, young blood, how's it going? I look up. Quincy Jones. I'm like, it's going good, Mr. Jones. I said, Mr. Jones. He's like, hey, man, how's the songwriting coming? So I'm like, how the fuck does Quincy Jones know me? I was like, man, it's going good. And then he says, you want some songwriting advice? I said, hell yeah. He goes, man, fuck them verses, man. The people want choruses. They want hooks. They want to sing along, baby. I said, okay. And he walks away. I run inside. I said, Ray and Timothy, Quincy Jones just spoke to me. What'd he say? He said, don't write no verses, just write hooks. Next day we go to the studio, strip clubs and dollar bills. And I still got more money. And I repeated something the whole song because Quincy Jones told me, don't write no verses. And that
became the motto for us going forward.
Love that.
That was the motto. From there, I was like, cool.
Give me number 1.
The number 1 song.
Oh, I'm excited for this.
Oh, man. Okay, it's between some songs. Locked Away, Rock City, baby. Fuck what y'all talking about. Fuck what y'all talking about.
That's right.
First of all, number 1 gotta be Locked Away. That's all. You know what that song is about.
Yes.
And me and my brother started as artists. We was trying to be artists forever. The whole business at that time said we were too old. They said we shouldn't be making music. They said we need to focus on songwriting. And we dropped a number 1 fucking record in 107 countries. Leave me the fuck alone.
I know that's right. There you go.
I'm sorry.
So this is actually my favorite show I've ever shot. I swear to God, it's my favorite show I've ever shot. Yeah, that was amazing. This is good. Come here, you can take us home. I'm good because I'm glad he gave us his list because I'm like, I feel like we don't really talk about what we do, but yeah.
Okay, so I just want to close. If you could give some advice to some songwriters out there, what would you say to them?
Man, try your best to learn every day. Write as many songs as you can. It's like Kobe shooting in the gym. You know, he was one of the best basketball players to ever live. And, I remember somebody saying, they would come to the gym at 4 and meet Kobe there already. They would get there at 4 a.m. and meet Kobe Bryant there. And just to let y'all know, we used to be at this one studio and I wrote 7 songs a day every day for a year, 365 days. We didn't take no off days. I didn't do nothing. I remember not getting that much sleep. I remember going to the doctor and they was like, yo, are you getting definitely every day, 7 songs a day and staying up all night, you know what I'm saying, to get that. So I would say keep doing that and and if you believe in a song, keep going. A good song will always find a home. Even when an artist says it's whack. Most of our hit records were whack to somebody first and then they went to another artist and then they were hits. So don't if you believe in it, if you think it's that good, you play that song for every single artist until it reached the right home.
That was amazing advice. Thank you so much.
I never asked me how to get songwriting advice.
Let me find out you be writing.
No.
I know you going to be a producer now, but I didn't know you was.
Oh yeah, two of my honorable mention I forgot to say. I can't do a songwriter without doing this. I got to shout out 2 of the hottest up and coming songwriters that I think are both incredible. A1 LaFleur and Ivory fucking Scott.
Oh yeah,
those are 2 people who I signed and helped develop, and they both have hits all over the world right now. And I'm just proud of what they're doing and how far they're going. And shout out to Jake and Jared too, because we just signed them, but those kids are gonna be the future, right? So. Yeah,
but once again, Theron, thank you so much for sitting down with us. It was nothing.
He ain't had no choice. This is shot in his building. This is our building we shooting. He's gonna sit down.
Yeah,
he has to. If we're gonna have a guest from the music business, anybody else does it except for him, it's a problem. He has to be the first guy I do.
You know how I know when Theron's here? Because yelling starts. And it's not like bad yelling. It's exciting yelling and intentional and intense because that's the passion that both of you guys have for music.
We gotta have Theron on more. He has to be on more because this is my favorite show we shot so far.
Oh no, I would listen anytime.
If he's in town, this nigga be all over the world making money. And I'm not gonna stop that because we need that.
All right, so once again, this is the God Show, Ghosts and Underdogs. Thank you. Make sure y'all subscribe to our YouTube. Follow us on Facebook.
Thank you. And make sure Braxton puts that at the end of all our videos. It might seem corny.
We're going to have a closing ending section for Braxton.
I'm going to be honest with you. I remember I would just see YouTube videos and I would see like, hey, guys, you should press the subscribe button. I'd be like, why the fuck do they care? Now I understand. Can y'all subscribe, please? God damn. We're trying to get to 1,000 subscribers so we can make $50 a month off these YouTube videos.
Right.
Man.
Just a little
buy niggas lunch and shit, man. Come on. Support us. Let's go.
All right. Thank you, guys.
That was amazing.